Welcome back to the channel. My name is Todd Jewell, and in today's video, we're going to talk about what is it like to work with the Living in Knoxville team. Why should you choose to work with us, or why may you choose not to? And what is our process like? Why do we do what we do? What's a little bit about my background and what I think makes this team and my experience very, very unique in the real estate industry as a whole? You're going to want to stick around. I think you're going to find this interesting. Let's get to it. So what is the real mission of the Living in Knoxville team? Well, I just want you to know the main mission of the Living in Knoxville team is if you're someone who is relocating to this Knoxville, greater East Tennessee, or it doesn't have to be Knoxville, it could be anywhere from Chattanooga to Bristol. But if you're looking to relocate to East Tennessee, our job, our role, what I tell the people who work with us, our job is to help you determine if the areas you're looking at are a good fit for you. They're not to sell you a home to begin with. They're not to find you a home to begin with. They are 100%. Our role is as an assistant, an expert in the area, in understanding what kind of questions to ask and the things that we need to do to help you determine what we think would be and help you determine what is the best fit for you in East Tennessee. And at the same time, maybe that this isn't the right fit for you. And if that's the case, that is totally fine. We are not here to try to sell you Knoxville or sell you East Tennessee. In my opinion, it completely sells itself. And if it's not something you fall in love with when you're here, then it's probably not the right place for you. And our job is not, as I said, just to sell homes. People ask me, are you a real estate agent? Yes, we make our living when we sell you a home. If you've ever worked with us, or if you talk to someone who's worked with us, the thing that they're going to tell you is we're very different than probably any other real estate agent they've ever worked with, in that the home is the very last thing. Now, don't get me wrong, when it comes time to find the home, we're going to work really hard to find you the right home. But we have to make sure, first of all, that the area is right for you, and then the neighborhood is right for you, and then the certain subdivisions are right for you, and then we go find the home. So, our role is as an assistant in helping you make that determination. To do that, in my opinion, requires some very unique skills, and that's where my background and my love for working with buyers comes in. I was right out of college. I'm a University of Tennessee graduate, by the way. Out of college, I was a coach for 4 years. I come from a big coaching family, generations of very successful basketball coaches. Thought that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't. So I taught school for 4 years and did that, realized I didn't want to do it, and got directly into banking. I stayed in banking for, 10, 12 years or more. When I left banking, I was a senior vice president there. But during that time, I learned a lot about the real estate industry. I made a lot of loans for developers here in Knoxville. I could drive around Knoxville and see a lot of developments now that look 20 plus year old that I did the loans for those developers, and it's kind of cool. But that's where my love of real estate and development and working with people moving into these areas started. We did a lot of spec homes over the years and flip homes back then and all those kinds of things. And while we were doing that, we opened up our first real estate brokerage. We weren't licensed. We hired a broker, and we did that. We did it on purpose because we build the homes and try to keep things separate. But when I decided to leave banking, and I went to work for a developer, a high-end, gated type subdivision builder, developer. And the only thing they did was work with people who were relocating to East Tennessee. But we didn't work with local people. It was purely a sale to go up to the Northeast and the Midwest, and sometimes out West, do a lot of the real estate shows, invite you down, get you down here, show you the area, about everything here, and see if it was a fit. If it was, that was great. So I fell in love with that process. I spent years in that industry. I worked not just here locally, but I was in this industry before the crash, and then through the crash, and after the crash, I worked down in Hilton Head. I worked in Pawleys Island some, and I was fortunate enough to work for some of the best developers in the nation and get some of the best training in the nation. And so when we came back after doing that, I decided I wanted a brokerage here in East Tennessee. We have 4 offices now, but those offices are traditional brokerage offices. The Living in Knoxville team is very specific to me. This is a kind of a passion thing for me that I started a couple years ago. Now it involves my daughter, who is finished with her college, who's been a top listing agent for 12 years now, Nick, and a couple other people, and a lot of support people behind the scenes. But but it's a very small team. And we did that because we realized that Knoxville has become such a relocation destination that I can do again what my passion is, which is help people do that. And at the same time, we can help locals who are looking to relocate, and then we're able to help people who are looking to sell homes because we have a very unique understanding of what it takes to make your home very, very marketable to people who are outside of our area, and that's a lot of the buyers in the market today. That background, I think, gives us a very unique understanding, and because of that, our process is very different. We're going to talk about that next. So let's go ahead and get into what it's like to actually work with the Living in Knoxville team. So first of all, most of our clients find us on YouTube. We work with clients who find us on YouTube. It's very normal for us to work with people between 6 months and a year before they're planning to relocate. We have clients in our system that when they came in were 3 years out. We have a lot of clients who were 2 years out. That's very normal for us. It's actually the process that I prefer because it allows me and our team to get to know you, to really fully understand what makes you tick. You create a lot of trust in us during that period of time, and us get to know each other. That's the best type of relationship, and it's really a partnership in this process, and time allows that to happen and allows us to be able to make this process easy. Listen, when you relocate, if somebody acts like it's not, they're crazy. Relocating is a big deal. It's stressful. In the best of situations, it's stressful. We understand that. We're used to working with you for quite a bit of time. We encourage you to, as you've seen in our other videos, to reach out to us before you visit the first time, the second time, the third time, so that we can be here to assist you if you need that while you're in town. And then we have a very standard process that we want you to go through. We want you to have an initial Zoom meeting. If you've reached out to me by text or phone or email or anything else, I always say, I want to do a Zoom meeting with you. And we record those. There's a very specific reason we do that. One is we get to know each other. I'm a very big relationship person. I think it's the only way that this works properly is for me to get to know you. And then you're gonna have to trust me because you're a long way off. At the same time, it allows us to record those, and then we're able to take those, turn those into transcripts, have our AI turn those into specific notes, and we keep all the video and those notes within our system so that anyone on the team can always refer back to it, including me, and nothing ever gets missed. And then we stack everything that we do with you from that point forward in that system. So we have a process for that. The other reason we want to do a Zoom is at the end of that Zoom, so it's the last thing we talk about, so you'll be able to remember, is that we go over what it costs to work with us, what you can expect to get from us during that time. We try to be a very transparent group so that you know exactly what to expect and exactly what it's going to cost you when the time comes to do that. Now, then we also at the same time set expectations, and people say, why don't you just give me a list of what those are? I sort of can, but the reality of it is until we have our first Zoom meeting, I can't really tell you what we need to do in step 2, 3, and 4 because it depends on your timeline, your situation, and all the different things that are going on in your life that are going to determine what's the next step. It's going to be different for most people. So we want to go through our normal process, and we really require all of our clients to do that. You know, I would say it's less than 1 or 2% of the people that we work with that we don't have go through that process. Those are usually very outside the line, out of the box type situations. When you get here, we're going to help you with our visit. We're going to, guide you through that. We'll get with you early on in the process. A lot of times we go out and show you around while you're here. If you're on an initial visit, it doesn't do me a lot of good to just say, hey, go drive around Farragut. Go drive around Hardin Valley. Go drive around Maryville. And here's the thing, when you work with us, we're going to have a really good idea, probably by the time you get here, what areas are going to really be appealing to you. And then when you get here, we usually meet for a cup of coffee. I'm a K-Brew fan, so a lot of times I meet with you there. If it's possible, because the family isn't too large, we all jump in my car, and we may spend the next 3 to 4 hours driving around Knoxville. Maybe we spend the next hour or two, depends on what you want to look at. Maybe it's Maryville. Letting me show you where things are, so that then when you go out and explore you fully understand. You can drive by our subdivisions, you can drive by all of our parks, you can drive by so many things and not even know that they're there. So we find that hugely, hugely helpful. And I think if you were to talk to any of our past clients, they're going to tell you one of the very best things that we do with you initially is spend a lot of time, sort of playing tour guide and guiding you into things that we know that you're going to like about areas, and showing you the things that we think you may not like about some of the areas, so that it's good for you to be able to, easier for you to be able to make a decision and narrow down where you want to be, and even if Knoxville is or isn't for you. The second after that, when it comes time to buy a home, probably a third of our buyers never see the home until they close. I know that freaks a lot of people out. It'd be very hard for me to do too, but when I say that, I want you to understand that what we do for you in that process is very different than you're probably getting from any other real estate agent you've worked with. It's something we do. It's something I've been doing for 20 years. We're really good at being able to get you to understand. We do a lot of virtual stuff. So maybe you're here on your initial visit and we know that you're going to be, or your second visit, and you're going to be buying a home between now and when you come back. So we make sure we tour homes together. We record that where we can, what you like, you don't like. You know, we make sure and keep those notes, and so that we understand when you say, I want a large dining area, what does that mean to you? Large to me, large to you means different things. You gotta get on the same page. And so then we're able to go out and do these virtual showings for you. Some of the things that we do differently, I don't care to share some of those things. We don't do FaceTimes when we do showings, and that's really a waste of time. Why is that a waste of time? Simply because on FaceTime, everything's moving too quickly. So what we do is we go out, we do a detailed video. They're not professional, holding our phones. We may get on our knees and show you the floors. We talk about what type of floors in every room. We try to find every single thing wrong with the home that we can, and every good thing. We want to make sure that we're showing you the home just like you're standing beside us in great detail. Many times what we will do is we will put our GoPro. We have things to put those on our vehicles. We'll put them up on the front of the vehicle. We'll drive the subdivision so you fully understand what the subdivision looks like. We'll put the drone in the air if it's relevant and make sure you fully understand what's around this home. So we do so much work for you from a distance. I'll say this, and it's kind of it's something that we take pride in. We have never had in a couple years someone who comes down where they go under contract and then come down for the home inspection, or they just show up for the first time after closing. We have never had anyone yet who decided not to go through the contract and didn't love the home. It was exactly what they thought, or better, a lot of them tell me, and we take a lot of pride in that because it's stressful for us. We want you to be happy. So we are very good at doing those things. All of our vendors from our home inspectors are very used to dealing with our clients. They're out of town folks who this is what they're used to. We have lenders who are used to becoming involved with you very, very early in the process. Yes, it's not time to get your pre-approval yet, but they can give you an idea of payments and really what you're working with and dealing with and options. The things that you need that you just can't get most of the time. We have people who will do that with you, and it's just part of the value I feel like we bring to you as a team and to this. We are truly trying to take the standard in what people expect from a real estate professional to a whole nother level, especially as we move into, if you're in an area like we are, where we have a lot of people relocating. But this is not just for people who are relocating. There are people that we work with here locally in Knoxville as a team that we're able to do the same things for. We're able to preview homes, so that you don't have to take off work or come over after work. We go out, we look at those homes, and we determine yes, no, maybe, and then we'll set up a showing. Where there's all kinds of things that we do for folks, and like I said, please don't forget about the listing side, because on that side we have some, in my opinion, some of the most unique understandings of what's going on and what people are looking for in the industry. Because we're working with so many buyers, we're in so many houses, a dozen to 2 dozen homes every week plus. And that gives us a very unique understanding of the market, understanding of what buyers are looking for today, especially folks coming from out of town. And it helps us to promote and market your home to those folks and get your home sold easy and in the least amount of time. So that's kind of the process for us. Everything is set up, like I said, to work from a distance. At the same time, we also have a lot of folks who are here in rentals at the moment that we're working with because they wanted to be here through the process. It works for us too. I hope that through this video, you're able to get a little bit of an understanding of what it's like to work with us, at least enough of an understanding that you'll go ahead and schedule a Zoom and have that conversation with us. Don't be afraid, ask us questions, interview too. We're not the right fit for everyone. That's why there's a lot of real estate agents out here, and there's good real estate agents here in this Knoxville area to choose from. I just don't think anyone is better at working through this process, especially with the out-of-town person, than we are, just because it's what we do. I will say this before we go. If you reach out to us, you're going to get me. When we do a Zoom, you're going to get me. I do every Zoom. I do that because I want to know exactly what's going on. And then my daughter who works with us is in a lot of those Zooms as well. She does a phenomenal job. She's in a lot of those. So most of the time, even when you're here, you're going to be working with both of us, one of us all the time is who you will be working with. So Anyhow, just wanted to say that because I know there's a lot of people on YouTube today that are going out there and they're making these YouTube videos and they're getting leads, and then basically what they're doing is referring those leads out to other people to handle, and they're just making money off of them. That is not, it makes me sick at my stomach. That's not the way that somebody should be doing this. If you have questions, reach out. If you've got comments, put them below. Schedule that Zoom if you haven't, if you're looking to maybe possibly move to this area in the next couple of years or so. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that below. Very helpful to us here at the channel. And until next time, guys, I can't wait to see you around Knoxville really soon.